What is up, guys? Cedar B here, coming at you with another war recap, and as you can see, it's the MLCW recap, Grand Warden League, Week 5, and this was a good war, very close, as you can see, 88 to 87 victory, and sorry about that, turn on my light. 88 to 87 victory, 98.43% on our end, 98.83 on their end, and going over the stats of the war, they were very close, very similar, pretty much down the board. 11v11, we had a 50% hit rate, 2 for 4 on that. That's going to be Alexander getting the 6-pack, so great job, Alexander. And for them, they had a 2 for 3, so 67%, so 2 3-stars on both ends for the Town Hall 11s. 10v10, and I think this is really where it made the difference on that extra star. We had 38% hit rate, 6 for 16 on that, and they had a 5 for 18, 28% hit rate for them. So having that one extra Town Hall 10 3-star, I think, really helped out. Going into, I don't know what I just did, but apparently I did something. Okay, anyway, moving on to 9v9, we had a 67% hit rate, 16 for 24 for us, so pretty good job, guys. 67% is definitely solid, so keep that up. And for them, they had a 16 out of 29 for their hits. 55% hit rate is what that equates out to. And 11v10 dips, we both had 4 for 4 on that, so 100% on both ends. So good job to our Town Hall 11s as well as their guys. And hitting up, our 10v11, we came away with a 25% hit rate, 1 for 4 on that, so a little bit lower than we're used to normally seeing, usually getting about 2 or 3 of them, but it happens, and we were able to pick up some deficit elsewhere. They had a 2 for 2 on their 10v11, so 100% hit rate for them. 9v10, we had a 67% hit rate, 4 for 6, and they came away with a 50% hit rate, 1 for 2 for them. So overall, very close war. Did a good job, both ends, so great job, guys. Keep that up. 6-pack shoutouts, we have Alexander, Damon, Uzumaki Naruto, Jeffrey, Bradley, Zilla, Maddie, G-Funk, and Tony Montana. So great job, guys, to you. And let's get right into the attack. So starting off, we're bringing in Bradley. And he's using an Archer Queen Walk Go Boho. I personally love this attack. I haven't used it in a while. Been focused on other things, TDH, that type of thing. Kind of put that in the back pocket. Probably pretty rusty with it now, but he does a great job of displaying the strength of it, number one, and how to execute it. So obviously he started his Archer Queen Walk portion at 9 o'clock, and you're not trying to get her into too much trouble. Just like an Archer Queen Walk avalanche attack, you are generally going to be using all of those spells for your kill squad. The 3 golems that you're bringing in, followed by your bowlers, king, a couple of wizards, 2 jumps, rage heal is pretty generic for that. In this instance, and actually now that I think about it, like I said, it's been a while since I've used it, you actually do generally invest 1 rage into the queen to get the clan castle down. So Archer Queen Walk Avalanche, you don't want to get your queen into too much trouble. You want your kill squad with the 3 golems to really take care of that. In Archer Queen Walk Go Boho, in this case, you do want to bring it in, help cut a funnel for your Go Boho portion that we're seeing here, and have that Archer Queen take out that clan castle. So unfortunately, his golem is going to walk here, but he is going to get, I think, all 5 of his bowlers inside of that base. So under rage, they are going to be able to do a bit of damage. Has 1 heal spell for his hogs coming through the base. So jump and rage for your Go Boho portion. And does get a decent amount of value with that. That golem is actually going to end up wrapping all the way around the base. Hog portion is coming in from about 2:30. They're going to work south towards 6 o'clock, and that's going to work out perfectly. They're going to end up meeting up with that kill squad. King is still up at about 1/3 of his health, still has that heal in the bag, and 1 hog in the bag as well. So Probably going to end up dropping that heal once he works a little bit closer to the air defense, which he does, and good call on that because he did end up hitting that giant bomb. So very well executed, very, very strong attack. As we saw, Queen comes in, flanks one of the sides, cuts a funnel. Rage is invested for that, takes out the clan castle. Cold-blooded golem entry is pretty standard with that. With your CC bowlers, get them jumped into the core, take out the queen, take out the value, whatever you're looking for, and have those flanking hogs hopefully meet up with the back end portion of that kill squad. So good job, Bradley, and we'll go ahead and move on from here. Moving up, we're going to take a look at Trap Amy using the quad golem Go Boho, and really like this attack. Drops a wizard initially at 6 o'clock to take out that builder hut. It gets taken out by a troll Tesla, so she decides to drop a golem. She obviously was planning, and I actually don't know if Trap Amy is a guy or a girl, you know, but I'm going to say she, so correct me if I'm wrong, but she's coming in from that entire 6 to 9 o'clock side. 2 golems are essentially brought out on the flank. About 3 to 4 wizards is about standard from what I've seen to help just cut the funnel behind them, get them working in. After that, you have an additional 2 golems, and in this instance, she dropped one of them down first and then saved the second one for a little bit later into the raid and had that full health working in. And as you can see with the layout of the space and where she dropped the jump spells, the benefit of having all 3 of those golems get into there, having those bowlers at full health, and look at the value that those bowlers are getting out of that double bounce. And that's something that we've talked about several times, is, you know, when you bring bowlers into an attack, what's the value that you're going to be getting out of the exchange of that CC space? Generally, we'll see that a lot with Goho or Go Boho, you know, where's that difference? What takes more value? And we've said it before, you know, having an offset queen in some bases where using a kill squad to get in there is going to take up enough value, and then using a jump to get into where you want it isn't going to be enough value. That's an instance where you just want to come in with Goho. You know, if those bowlers getting into that portion of the base are kind of going to be trapped or not really have any value with their double bounces, that's when it's a good idea to just exchange them for additional hogs if you're coming in with a hog attack. So we'll go ahead and end on that tangent with that. But good job, Trap Amy, you know, bringing in those 4 golems, the 2 flanking golems, cut that funnel right away. And, you know, I didn't mention that, you know, they kind of act in the same way as the witches do in a witch slap. They're just not going to be going that far down the base. You know, you have that tank, they're going to work down the outside as far as they can, and the main portion is coming through 2 golems, bowlers, wizards, and your kill squad. So good job, Trap Amy, and we'll move on to Town Hall 10. And good job to our Town Hall 10s this war, guys. You guys really sealed the deal on this, I think, just looking over everything. So good job with those 6 3-stars that we had. 4 of those were Falcon attacks. We're not going to be taking a look at any of those, but they were all great attacks. We're going to be taking a look at Jeffrey taking on number 8, bringing in an Archer Queen Walk hog attack. And obviously a Town Hall 10, as well as the 9s usually do, from what I'm accustomed to, we're going to have some scouts. So on this base, we did have a scout. Bowler is brought in from, what is that up there, maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock or so. It takes out that mortar, and you see where the queen is coming in at, and you're wondering, okay, well, why would he do that? And as you can see, the Tesla just popped up there. He's going to send in a giant and trigger an early giant bomb. So that's some good investment. Obviously, he's going to be bringing his hogs in from that back end portion. So getting that out of the way was a good investment. And we didn't mention it yet, but Queen is coming in from about 3:30. They took out that first compartment. King Wizard Walk is going up towards 12 o'clock. that cuts the funnel for the queen to go right in to where she is now, to pick up that CC, take out the Inferno Tower, take out the queen, and have great access to the rest of the space. So ends up dropping both of the rages that he brought for his queen walk. And at this point, he's going to have to let them die, and he's going to start his hogs here. And I'm a brand new Town Hall 10, so I'm really going to be focusing a little bit more on Town Hall 10, analyzing it and that type of thing. And something that I've noticed, especially with a lot of the hog attacks and the 3 stars, is you know, you don't go light on your hogs like you can at Town Hall 9. It's definitely a much heavier drop in this instance. Bringing in the CC hogs with, I don't know, I think he maybe had 18. I'm just guessing at this point. I really don't remember what he had, but I'm going to say 18 to 20. He dropped them in deployments on 4 defenses. So coming in with 20 or 18, let's say, having 6 in the bag, that's 24. So dropping 6 or 7 or so on each defense, coming in very heavy and flanking that whole side, definitely brings a lot of power. And he did a very good job placing his heal spells where he needed them. Queen unfortunately went down, but as we see, the healers ended up jumping on those hogs. And, you know, we've talked about that as well before. The hogs ended up wrapping around the base to where the queen ended up starting, the queen and the king ended up starting. And now that the hogs wrapped up towards that direction, obviously the healers jumped onto them a little bit quicker than they might have if the attack went around the other direction and they were at 6 o'clock. So great job on the execution on this, Jeffrey. Great read, getting that queen, getting everything settled in the way that you did. So good job on that. And we'll go ahead and move up to Uzumaki Naruto using a Suihiro Lalo. And actually the last 2 attacks of this video will be Suihiro Lalo. And this being a scout attack, making adjustments like we saw Jeffrey in the last attack do, bringing in that giant, triggering that early giant bomb, taking out the Tesla, yeah, a Tesla, all 4 Teslas being up at 12 o'clock. That's pretty brutal. But investing his heroes, getting them to take out that Tesla farm, investing the 1 giant that he did to draw the CC, and at this point the heroes have pretty much done their job. The layout of the base, he is going to be able to get those 4 air defenses down very quickly. He is going to bring them not from across the base like we've talked about at Town Hall 9, but bringing them in right at the air defenses, going to haste them in very quickly, wants to get those air defenses down, obviously down as quickly as possible. And at this point, he's just kind of circling the base, has 4 loons in the bag, drops his rage spell and his heal spell, and is going to drop that poison on that queen here in just a second. King and queen are actually going to go down to the skeleton spell, so great investment on that. Not going to have to deal with the king later in the raid, getting those balloons to chase him around. And now he just has that Inferno Tower, really. That Expo really isn't going to do much, but once that goes down, that Inferno Tower is just toast. So at this point, it's just going to be cleanup. Absolutely great execution. You know, making those cleanup adjustments, well, not cleanup adjustments, but coming in after a scout, making those adjustments, reading what's going to be most beneficial to the base or to the raid, and, you know, what you can bring and what you can exploit from that. So I think Uzumaki did a great job reading this and pulling off this attack. So good job, buddy. And we'll move up to Alexander using his Suihiro Lalo, or bowler-assisted Suihiro Lalo, I guess. And if this actually does have a different name, please let me know in the comments. I'm just calling this bowler-assisted Suihiro Lalo at this point. I don't know if there is an actual technical name to the attack, but we've seen him pull this off several times, and the amount of value that he'll get just with those bowlers, his king, his queen, and his warden, is just ridiculous. You know, bringing them in, dropping a nice early rage, getting the wall break, ends up having to pop that warden ability, but not going to do him any poor justice in that sense. He's going to get a lot of value still. And having those multi-targeting Inferno towers up is, I don't know if that's the best choice at this point. I think single target may be the way to go, but you know, I can't really speak on that. I don't have a lot of experience, obviously, but as far as going against Inferno towers are concerned. But I don't think in this defensive scenario it did him much to have those. You know, having those heal spells get through there is just really not going to affect with that multi. So moving on from that, we'll stop that tangent. Drops that clone spell, brings in a clone spell. I love seeing the clone spell. Don't see it that much. It is 4 spell space, but the amount of value that you'll get out of it if you do use it correctly, and Alexander saving it for as late as he did in the raid, knowing that where he's coming through at this point with his loons are pretty much safe, and he can go ahead and drop them, and it beefs up that amount of core balloons to get in there and take out the Eagle artillery. So did a great job with that, and investing that last haste spell to get into that Eagle artillery, sealing that 3-star, and pulling off a great attack. So overall, guys, this was a great war. I was not participating in this, but I got to observe from the outside, and I can say that Clash United, you guys are doing a great job. We're doing a great job. You know, we've only progressively kept going up, and I see good things ahead. So let's keep this up, guys. Let's keep this momentum, and until next time, try new things, and Cedarby out.